Namaste all. It gives me a great pleasure in welcoming you all for the final day of the presentation of 5-day webinar series on research and innovation organized by Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering, Mysuru. Today, it is high time to welcome and introduce the resource persons for today's session, Dr. KB Vinay, Associate Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering and Deputy Dean, Academics, Autonomous, who will be speaking on entrepreneurship through TBI, Technology Business Incubators. Dr. KB Vinay has completed the Bachelor's of Engineering from PSCE Mandya in the year 2000. He has completed MTech in Engineering Management from SJCE in the year 2002 and has pursued the PhD degree in Engineering Management from SJCE College, Mysuru. His specialized area of interest is technology business incubators. He has been a resource person on this field in various institutions across the countries. He has, as a local inspection committee member, he has visited 2 universities in Pune and Gujarat in this regard. He has presented over 40 papers in conferences and reputed journals. He has presented a paper in the international conference at Melbourne, Australia. Sir has assumed various positions in the institution as IQAC coordinator, taking a lead role in the institution. Amidst his busy schedule, Sir has agreed to deliver a talk on the current topic. Now I request Dr. KB Vinay sir to take over the session. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. A very good morning to all the participants. I'm immensely grateful to the Department of Information Science and Engineering, Institute's Innovation Council, and Anveshan Club for having invited me to share my thoughts about entrepreneurship development through technology business incubation through this 5-day webinar series. Myself, Dr. Vinay KV, Deputy Dean Academic Affairs and Associate Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, VVCE, Mysuru. I would like to take you through how we can become entrepreneurs with the use of technology business incubation. To begin with the introduction. So you know that knowledge and technology are becoming the buzzwords of the present generation or the new millennium. Because every now and then the technology keeps on changing every now and then. It is not taking decades together nowadays. It is just taking few months to few years to change from one technology to another technology, because the technology is leapfrogging beyond the speed of light. Because there are enormous activities which are underway through research and development to come out with the new era of technology. So developments in the field of science and technology are also leading to a new class of entrepreneurs, which we call it as knowledge-savvy entrepreneurs. So what do you mean by knowledge-savvy entrepreneurs? So knowledge-savvy entrepreneurs are those who just come out with the idea and who convert that idea into reality. As well as we have knowledge about technology-driven enterprises, which are being recognized as an important factor in the development of a nation. And as well as it is a main source for value-added employment generation. See, the establishment and nurturing of small and medium enterprises, in short, we just call it as SMEs, is a vital input in creating the dynamic market economies in the economic and social development of transition countries. See, entrepreneurs, as we know, are the key drivers of economic growth, innovation, regional development, and job creation. Why they are key drivers? Because in the present generation, the government alone cannot create job for all. So that's the reason the government of India is coming out with a novel idea of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So whereby instead of depending on the exports, so we should make our own products or we should create our own services. So how do we create our own products and how do we create our own services so that we don't depend on other countries or the neighboring countries? So to that, the key driver is to become the entrepreneur of the day. And highly motivated SME sectors provide a strong foundation to increase the standard of living and reduce poverty. See, how can one become an entrepreneur? Because there are many challenges in the business. So entrepreneur is basically nothing but where you start your own business, either to produce certain products and deliver it to the market, or you provide certain services to the society. So why most of the entrepreneurs are not able to survive in the present world, even though it is the need of the hour? The challenges of any business that starts up as of now, the main challenge is its survival and growth. Why do they struggle to survive? Why do they struggle to grow? Because the financial resources is the main obstacle for most of the small scale businesses when they begin. And as well as there are many issues related to business management, which we call it as complex business management, which is very complicated to understand because since it is a globalization, there are many competitors in and around, not only locally, not only nationally, even internationally. To survive in this complex business management, as well as to overcome the hurdle of the financial resources, so most of the SMEs or most of the entrepreneurs, they fail to survive and grow. So that is the major challenge. And apart from that, we do have a bureaucratic procedure that we have to go through the government. So these are the major obstacles which acts as an hindrance for the SMEs or the entrepreneurs to grow. So as a result, what can we do? So there is definitely a need to improve the factors that establish a good entrepreneurial atmosphere. So how can we do that? So before moving how we can overcome all those challenges, let me take you through what do you mean by entrepreneurship. So who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person who seeks a profitable opportunity and is necessary and takes the necessary risk to set up and operate a business. So whenever we start a business with an intention of making some proper opportunity, making a profit as well as create job. And these two doesn't come so easily. So in order to do this, we have to take certain risk in the business. So most of the small business owners, they differ and their strong desire to make their own businesses grow because they have their own problems. They also differ from managers through their overriding responsibility to use resources of the organization to accomplish their goals. The most important thing is the willing to take risk. So becoming an entrepreneur is not an easy job. So no doubt you will be able to create a job, you will be able to make a profit provided you take the risk what you're supposed to take. So while nowadays entrepreneurship is being seen as an alternative career rather than just going for a job. Because you can just look at the statistics of America, more than 11% of the Americans, they run their own business. In an average month, Americans start approximately around 465,000 new businesses every month. They are not dependent on the government. They are not dependent on any industry to work. They start with their own work. They come out with their own business. The past 2 decades have shown an heightened interest in entrepreneurial careers. So that's the reason why most of the people, they choose to become an entrepreneur rather than going and working to someone else. Why? Because some people are dissatisfied with the traditional or the conventional work. And their ideas fulfill customer needs because they have an idea which they'll not be able to come out or which they will not be able to convert into a reality when they are working under someone. So therefore, they just want to come out of this traditional work. They want to conceptualize their idea, come out and give it to the society. Why the people choose to be an entrepreneur? So these are the 4 things why people want to become an entrepreneur. One is you become your own boss. There is no one to whom you are supposed to report. You are the boss. So the desire to be the one's own boss. That is one of the reasons why people choose to become an entrepreneur. And apart from that, you will be having a desire to succeed financially. Definitely, any businesses, the main intention is to make some money or make some profit. So any businesses will not be on a break even. So they definitely need to make some ethical profit. So apart from being financially stable, so the desire to job security. So once you become a boss, once you have your own boss, so the job security will be there. You will be knowing how to take the business forward. You'll be knowing how you are sustaining. You'll be knowing how you'll be able to grow, beating your competitor. You are your own boss. You can take your own decision. You are financially stable, so that doesn't hamper you from having a insecurity feeling in the job. And apart from that, the quality of life will be improved definitely. So for these four reasons, most of the people, they want to become an entrepreneur rather than working under some organization. So that is what I've explained here also. Being your own boss, self-management is the motivation that drives many entrepreneurs. As I said, financially sustainable. So you entrepreneurs are wealth creators. You basically are not dependent on someone's wealth, where you are creating wealth, where you are creating job, where you are making money on your own with your own business. So financially, you will be very successful. And apart from that, the job security. Over the past 10 years, if you see there are large companies that have eliminated more jobs than they have created, because once they become, as the technology changes, so there is a chances of whereby everything is being automated and whereby they eliminate jobs rather than creating the job. Most of the MNCs are big companies. So job security is not there even if you are working under some organization. So that's the reason if you want to have a job security, it's always better to be an entrepreneur. And apart from that, once you are your own boss, once you are financially independent, once you don't worry about your job security, definitely you'll be leading quality of life in the society. Starting a business gives the founder some choice over when, where, and how to work. You know how to work, you know where to work, what to work, how much you are earning. So definitely your quality of work life will be good because you are the only one to whom you are answerable. So let me take you through India. So entrepreneurship, as I said, it is a global and multifaceted phenomena with significant difference between countries. It varies from one country to another country depending on the type of country it is, whether it is a developing country or developed country or underdeveloped country. Depending on that, we have a different types of entrepreneurship that takes place in the respective countries. It has been a positive relationship between entrepreneurship and economic growth, because once you become an entrepreneur, you are creating jobs. If you are creating a job, definitely the economic growth of the country will be happening because you are adding a part of to the GDP of the country. So once the gross domestic product increases, definitely economic growth of any country is assured. So that which creates wealth as well as social development of a nation under the given technological, industrial, and political framework. And apart from that, social and cultural norms in India also favor stability and security. So capital investment, particularly for early stage development, is a major hurdle. As I said, the most important challenge is to arrange for the finance. That is capital investment. So you will be having an idea that comes free of cost. So you will be having a capability of converting an idea into reality that is also free of cost. But in order to transform that into a working model, definitely you need a budget, or which we call it as a capital investment. So that is the major hurdle for early development of any businesses in India. And that is the major hurdle why most of the entrepreneurs fail in establishing or growing their businesses. So growth is hampered due to scarcity of working capital, because most of the financial institute for newcomers who come out with a concept and if they want to commercialize that, they are not ready to finance, because they just look at that as a business. They need to invest today and they want to take the profit tomorrow, which cannot happen if you want to become an entrepreneur. It takes its own time. So that's the reason most of the financial institute, they just invest on a running business rather than investing on a new business. So that is a major drawback when it comes to becoming an entrepreneur. That is arranging the finance or the capital investment for the business. And the most important is the infrastructure of a country. In our country like India, infrastructure is definitely good and better, but it is inadequate because there is as the supply of professional and commercial services is low. And there is also a shortfall in the skill-based learning. So far, we've been teaching a lot, but nowadays we have moved from the teacher-centric to learner-centric approach, where we want the student to come out with what they have learned rather than what we have taught them. So that is the one where we are falling short of. We don't actually we are not giving the skill-based learning. So nowadays we have been moving towards that. That's the reason new education policy is giving more focus on the skill-based learning rather than a fixed learning. So that is the major drive. So once you have a skill, once we have the required resources, and the financial is the only challenge which we can overcome, and definitely any of the business or entrepreneurs can definitely become more successful. So while government agencies and education institutions carry out quality research and development, but they are the business. Government invests huge amount of money on research and development. They do quality research, but they concentrate less on converting that research into a commercial aspect of business. That is where the government agencies and the education institutions are lagging. R&D is happening. They are very good and quality research and development is taking place. But when it comes to commercialization of that into a business, that is where most of the government agencies and education institutions are failing. But when it comes to industry, it is just the vice versa. The industries, they are ready to invest, but they are not investing on the required research and development. There it is low. So if you can just see that, so there are two extremities. So where R&D, educational institutions and government agencies are good at R&D. They are investing on R&D, but they are not able to commercialize it. Whereas industries are ready to commercialize, but they are not ready to invest on R&D. So what can we do? Can we bring these two together so that everything will go hand in hand? So that is what happening now. So nurturing techno entrepreneurship. So to bridge the gap between the government agencies and the education institutions and the industries who are looking for commercialization of the businesses. So the government has taken up some initiatives regarding that. So in India, the government has identified the need to support and nurture entrepreneurship through various methodologies that has been in use over the world. And we need to support those kind of entrepreneurs which are locally suitable and which can be definitely sustained in the local market. So among them, one of the initiative by the government is the establishment of NSTEDB, which stands for National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Board, which was established in the way back 1982 with the nodal agency of promoting various mechanisms to promote gainful self-employment in the country and to link the ideal science and technology manpower with the underutilized institutional credibility. That's what I said. So this was established with an intention of promoting self-employment. But how? Linking with science and technology manpower. Science and technology, they are working on an ideal. And if we want to create a job, people are available, but they don't have the required skills. So what do? The people who are available, who are looking for the job, you can just link them with the science and technology manpower so that the underutilized institute credible possibilities are fully utilized. So the board is also being serviced by an organization named the DST, which stands for Department of Science and Technology. And their major objectives is to promote and develop entrepreneurship through the use of science and technology. So facilitating various informational services relating to entrepreneurship development. So they want to network with central government, state government agencies and NGOs so that entrepreneurship can happen, so that self-employment can happen. That is self-development or self-employment. As an advisory body, the government agencies regarding entrepreneurship. So the DST basically aims to support entrepreneurship through science and technology. It also provides the required information, and also it tries to network with all the government agencies, maybe state or central and other NGOs. And to create awareness about the science and technology persons to take entrepreneurship as a career, the academicians, the researchers, the academic institutions, and many agencies have come together to take the task of developing entrepreneurship as well as creating jobs in the present economic scenario. So these are some of the examples or some of the agencies through which the government is trying to promote entrepreneurship as an alternative career so that people can generate or create job as well as increase the wealth as well as economy of a country. So some of the agencies are STEP. You might be heard about STEP, which stands for Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Part. We have Entrepreneurship Development Cell. Entrepreneurship Development Programs is being held now and then to create awareness about entrepreneurship. OLP, Open Learning Program in Entrepreneurship. EAC, Entrepreneurship Awareness Camp. STETS, Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Scheme. Faculty Development Program, and Technology-Based Entrepreneurship Development Program. So these are some of the initiatives that is being taken care by the government and other agencies to promote entrepreneurship as an alternative career, because that is the next thing what we need to be more The government alone cannot create the wealth. So therefore, there should be many private and the individual person who have to take the entrepreneurship as an alternative career and create jobs as well as wealth. You know that Science Park and similar initiatives in the developed countries are the latest in the evolutionary line to create an atmosphere of innovation and entrepreneurship. See, entrepreneurship, becoming an entrepreneur is not so simple. First of all, you should have an innovative approach. So innovation should join with entrepreneurship. So an active interaction between the academics, what is happening in the academics, what is happening in the industries. So we need to bridge between the academics and industries. Then only you'll be able to come out with innovative ideas, so which can be converted into a reality through entrepreneurship. So why this academic and industries have to come together? Because they are required to come together for sharing ideas, for sharing the knowledge, as well as facilities for the development of new technologies and their rapid transfer to the end user. Because as I said, academic institutions are more oriented towards R&D, but less oriented towards commercialization. Whereas R&D industries are less oriented towards R&D and more oriented towards commercialization of business. That's the reason these academics institution and the industry should come in hand for sharing the ideas, for sharing the knowledge and experience, as well as for sharing the facilities that is available so that new technologies can come up and their rapid transfer can happen. So STEP, Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Park, provides such an reorientation approach to innovation and entrepreneurship, which involves education, training, research, finance, management, governance, many things, which is being jointly promoted by DST as well as state government. There are some financial institutions which can be a private institutions. There are some post institutions. And all of them have come together with a prime objective to link between the universities, academic and R&D institutions. Because till now, everyone were working in idle. Everyone were unique. Everyone were working in idle. Even industries were working in idle. So now the time has come where everyone need to link together. There should be a strong network between the academic field and the industries, so that we can promote entrepreneurship among the science and technology person. And we can provide the required R&D support to the small scale industry, and we can promote innovation based entrepreneurship can succeed only if you come out with an innovative idea, not the existing one. You need to come out with an innovative idea. So how can we do that? So to become a successful entrepreneur, so one of the link is bridging, or one of the link is to bring the academicians and industry personnel together. So to develop this entrepreneurship, the main driving force is the concept of incubation. So this is the topic which we need to concentrate more. So what is incubation? So you might have heard about an incubator. So this is a medical apparatus which is being used in the hospitals, especially to pamper and newborn babies. See, especially if a premature babies are born, so they need to be nurtured. They need to be nurtured so that they survive and grow. So how can they survive? The premature baby, they are born much before they were supposed to born. So what can we do? We can just nurture them by providing a conducive or a favorable environment. So incubator is basically a device which gives around the baby, the temperature around the baby, the lighting around that, everything will be similar to that of a mother's womb. So that is the concept with which the incubator was designed. So the concept is very simple. We are nurturing a premature baby so that it survives and grows. The same concept is being used in the present businesses, because the major challenge of any business is to survive and grow. So to survive and grow, we need to provide certain support. So we need to provide certain favorable atmosphere so that the businesses overcome these challenges. They survive as well as they grow. So why incubation of business? See, in any system, it is a very clear four-step process. Any business, or even if you take about a human being, very simple: conception, development, adulthood, and maturity. This is how there is nothing but a life cycle of a human being. Even in any business, it is the same thing. You conceptualization of a business, development of the business, taking the business to the society, that is adulthood, is whereby our business is well accepted in the society, and one or the other time it has to reach a maturity. Any business, then it has to fall, then it has to find, or it has to go through a decline. So concept development and adulthood, these are the three major steps where you need to go through it before a business is succeed. But it is not so easy to go from one stage to another stage of development, because in every stage of development you will be facing a lot of risk. So in order to well upon this kind of risks, in order to support those kind of entrepreneurs through this risk, we need the concept of incubation. So the goal of any incubators is to increase the chance of startup to succeed and shorten the time and reduce the cost of establishing and growing this business. See, if we are supporting an entrepreneur, it should be supported, it should be made to grow within that required time span. Because as I said, the technology is changing very fast. By the time the concept is converted into reality, the new technology might have come. So the time taken from concept to reality should be as minimal as possible. Because by the time you convert into a reality, that need may not be there in the society. So that's the reason the time gap is very less. So within the available time gap, we need to make those businesses succeed. We need to make those entrepreneurs survive and grow within the shortest time span, so that the cost is reduced and their businesses grows and succeeds within the shortest span available. So what the incubators are different from the other alternate mechanism. So most of the businesses, you can just see these alternative mechanisms. Funding happens in some of the businesses, some of them fund. Training is happening in the businesses. Information is flowing in the businesses. Infrastructure is flowing, is available for the businesses. But all the incubators are different from the alternative mechanism because they lag in the mentoring and networking. We just see the pie chart of this alternate mechanisms. Funding is existing, training is existing, information is existing, infrastructure is existing, but they are not networked. They are not networked. They are working in isolation. That is what we are doing in case of incubation. Even in case of incubators also, we need funding, we need training, we need information, and we need infrastructure. But the most important thing is networking all these things and mentoring them continuously is where the incubator differs from that of an alternative mechanism. So going ahead, what do you mean by incubation? What is the concept? See, the concept is very simple. People come with an idea. They don't know what to do next. They have an idea, but they don't know how to convert the idea into a reality. So this incubation is a setup which actually guide and help the people with idea so that their idea are eventually realized. So how can we do that? So people with an idea, they may not be having the required knowledge or expertise in that particular field. They may not be knowing about how to start a business. They may not be knowing about where to arrange money for. They may not be knowing about what are the procedure to start a business. They may not be aware about where the required facilities or support or the infrastructure might be available. They may not be aware. They just have an idea. So the people come with an idea to the incubators. So the incubators will provide all the required assistance and support so that the people with an idea can realize and convert his idea into a reality. So that is the concept of incubation. So people with an idea is nothing but a premature, it's just similar to that of a premature baby. They have come out with an idea is a premature baby. So that need to be nurtured, that need to be survived, that need to grow. So to that, we support with all the required infrastructure and other necessary expertise or whatever that is required for that idea to be converted into business. So before actually going into what is actually we do in the incubators, let me briefly classify you about the different types of incubators that is in existence. The one first kind of incubators is the business incubators. In short, we just call it as BI. So this business incubators, they just concentrate on commercial aspect of it. They don't worry about whether it is an innovative idea, whether it is a technology idea. No, their prime focus is only general business development or stimulating specific economic objectives such as industrial restructuring, wealth generation, or utilization of resources. They just want to invest money, they want to make money. So it is purely on commercial aspect. So such kind of incubators is what we call it as business incubators. So this business incubator is been in practice from very long, because this incubator, there might be small enterprises. So they bring in all small enterprises into one affordable package. To give, to be more precise and to give an example, the small retailers will be there. If you club all these retailers, it becomes a wholesaler. All wholesalers, if you just club, it becomes a major package. So that is how it happens. Small enterprises, they integrate one strong affordable package. It has a special niche that is nurturing early stage growth oriented ventures with focused assistance which is supportive. One type of business incubator, it just concentrates on the commercial aspect of the one category of business. So we have one more category of business, one more category of called as technology. So here we concentrate more on development of technology and not concentrating on commercial. It's just the opposite of that of the business. Business incubator is just concentrating on the commercialization of business. Whereas technology incubator they just carry out the required research and development. The primary goal is only to promote development of technology and assist in completion of the development. So basically, these technology incubators you can just find in most of the education institutions, R&D institutes, science and technology parks. So their prime importance is only for development of technology based. So they are characterized by institutional links to knowledge sources, including universities, technology transfer agencies, research center, national laboratories, and skilled R&D personnel. So this differs from business because they are just looking at the promotion of technology transfer with diffusion, while encouraging entrepreneurship among researchers and academicians. Business and incubators, they are just looking at the commercial aspect. Technology incubators, they are looking at only at the technology transfer or technology aspects. And apart from that, we have one more category of incubators, which is called TIC, Technology Innovation Centers. So TICs is very much similar to that of a TI only, but there they just conduct R&D and they come out with certain technological innovations that is required for the industry purpose, which aims to jointly invest. Here, they join hands with the industry and they come out with some technology that is required for a particular industry. Okay. So which aims to jointly invest resources into university. So the industry come to the university campus, they give their own problem, whatever the problem they are facing. For those problems, you have to come out with the innovative solutions or develop whatever the problem that is being faced by the institution. So in those cases, the industry come to the university campus or research institutions, they achieve the commercialization with the support of the business enterprises or the public. So the concept of TYC doesn't differ that much that of a technology park and that of an R&D stage in the technology. So when you can just see these three classifications, none of them are taking care of both. So one type of incubators, they are taking care of only the commercial aspect, whereas the other type of incubators, they are taking care of only the technological aspect. So now we have moved from standalone incubators like businesses and technology into an joint venture. So that is where the technology business incubators have come up with. So whereby we have a technology driven businesses. That means to say we are making use of technology even in the, as well as we are taking care of even the commercial aspect of the business. So to do that, nowadays, we don't call it as a BI, we don't call it as a TI. In general, we call it as technology business incubators. So what is the technology business incubators? It is a joint venture of the universities, public research institutes, local government, and private institutions to promote and bolster a new technology-intensive business. That means to say a technology touch is being given to the business, or a technology is being commercialized into a successful business. So to go more in depth, what is technology business incubation? See, business incubation, as I said, is a process of business enterprise development, whereas incubators nurture young firms, helping them to survive and grow. As I said, that's the most challenge most of the newcomers or the new businesses they face. The survival and growth is the major challenge during the startup period. The concept can also be extended to include established firms who wish to develop new technologies. See, this TBI is not only limited to the new firms or the new entrepreneurs. So if a business is running well, if you want to give a technology touch to that business, then only this technology business incubation can be taken up. So if we have a technology that can be commercialized, so technology business. If there is a business, if we want to give a technology to the running business, then also it can be done. So technology business incubation takes care of both the business into technology as well as technology into business. So to be more precise about what is technology business incubator, it basically nurtures the development of technology-based and knowledge-driven companies, helping them to survive and grow during the startup period. Startup period, it might range from 2 to 3 years, but nowadays it is being reduced because the technology is running very fast, it is growing very fast. So we may have to survive and grow within 1 year. That is the need of the hour. That is the need of the hour. We can't wait for too long because 2 to 3 years is too long, whereby the present need might become obsolete by the time we realize and grow. So technology business incubator, basically it is nurturing. Incubator, as I said, we are nurturing. We are nurturing the young entrepreneurs or the running businesses to survive and grow during that initial period. So what does incubator do? So I said that the concept of incubation is where the people come with an idea, but he doesn't know what to do. So this incubator, it provides an integrated package. What is that integrated package? We provide them. The incubator provides the workspace. We provide some shared office services. We provide some value-added services like management assistance, business planning. If they require some finance, we can arrange finance from them. If they require any technical support, we can provide them. If they just want a network with any of the institute or any of the R&D institute, we can provide that networking support so that their idea is converted into a reality. So the main objective of the TBI is to produce a successful business venture that creates job and wealth. So basically, it is nothing but where you want to create job and make wealth. If you want to create a job and make wealth, you need to be an entrepreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to survive and grow during the initial stages. If you need to survive and grow, you need to require the support of various stakeholders. So that is what an incubator does with this. So TBI refers to a type of incubation where the focus group consists of innovative, mostly technology-oriented, as I said, mostly technology-oriented. Sometimes it can be knowledge-intensive service sector also, where interactions with the academic sphere giving a substantive element of the incubation process. The pushing forward of TBI occurred in parallel with the vigorous transformation of today's special economic processes. It can be interpreted as a reply for the challenges of learning-based economy. So learning-based economy is the leading thing now, because whatever you have learned, you need to convert that into an business. That is what we call it as learning-based economy. If you want to convert that into a business, definitely we require a lot of support and networking, and that is being provided by this technology business incubators. So why this technology business incubator is the talk of the town nowadays? Because these are the powerful economic development tool. Why powerful economic development tool? Because you are promoting the growth of innovation and the application of technology, so which support economic development of small businesses. Why it is economic tool? Because you are supporting small businesses to grow through your innovation and application of technology. So they might be running the business with a very old tradition. If you give a technology touch to that, or if you come out with an innovative idea, so that their small businesses run and develop very fast, so that the local market is taken care of, the local needs is taken care of, the society need is taken care of, the local economic growth. If the local economic grows, the entire country grows, and thereby you will be able to provide the required mechanism of technology transfer. Business incubation is a temporary facilitative support provided to startup enterprises through the delivery of complex services and special environment with the aim of improving their chances of survival in early phase of a lifespan and establishing their intensive growth. So technology business incubators, as I said, doesn't only support the technology driven businesses, it also supports the business incubators. If they don't require technology, if you just want to run it on a commercial way, then also this TBIs will be able to support and give the required services, the complex services and special environment that is required for the business to grow. The term incubation refers to the process of support. Incubation is nothing but the supporting. It is nothing but the process of supporting. What we are supporting? We are supporting the businesses to survive and grow. What is an incubator? An incubator stands for an organization which acts as a mediator or which provides the required infrastructure that is required for a business or an entrepreneur to survive and grow. So, with this technology business incubator, we can come out with two influences on the globe or on the country or on the economy of any nation or any country. One is an increased interest in fostering indigenous business development, particularly small businesses, because only these small businesses are facing problem with networking issue with respect to the infrastructure, with respect to the financial aspect, not the developed one. Because they are self-sustainable, they are able to grow on their own. So where we need to concentrate is helping or nurturing the small business entrepreneurs so that an economic development strategy happens. One more influence is the desire to develop high technology businesses in the era of globalization. So because of globalization, the whole world is one market. In India, if you can just see, we are more importing than exporting. So if you support or if you provide technology to the running businesses, small businesses, we can make wonders. We can make wonders. Even small businesses, we who manufacture small scale industry, if we just provide a technology touch to them through our innovative ideas, so we can stop importing, we can start exporting. So that is the reason why the government of India has come up with this novel idea of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So where we develop, we sustain, and we export. Since business incubation is very complex area, it's very complex, not so easy as we say. It's a very complex area, and it has to be looked at various angles by different scholars. The practitioners, they look at it in a different way. The scholars, they look at it in a different way. But one thing is common among them is it is a most important economic development. We might differ with respect to how we see the business. As a technology person, we see a business in a different, as a commercial person, they see the business in a different perspective. But only thing on which they have a consensus is it is an important economic development. Let me take you through what is the global scenario about the technology business incubator. At present, there are more than 4,000 incubators of various types operational in the world. In US alone itself, there are more than 1,000 incubators, including about 200 internet incubators. 200 internet incubators, I just want to mention here, internet incubators where they just provide online support. Nothing in physical support, it is only an online support. It is very much similar to that of a BPO. So BPOs, they just provide online support. That is also an incubator. So Europe nearly has more than nearly 1,000 incubators, including 300 in Germany alone. China has shown exponential growth in the incubators over a period of 10 years, and it has set up almost 400 incubators. That's the reason why they are the number one in the export. So Korea too is reported to have more than 300 incubators, while Japan, Malaysia, and Singapore are catching up, and now they are already in line with other countries. High technology incubators have been particularly successful in US, Israel, and technology because they are more concentrating on the technology transfer. So technology-driven incubators are more prone to success than the other. So now let me take you through what is the scenario of TBI in India then. So TBI, as I said, NSTADB and DST are working together to promote entrepreneurs through this TBI. So nearly 40 TBIs are being promoted by NSTAD and DST. Over 15 incubators are being supported by the STEP Science and Technology Entrepreneurship. There are many incubators being supported by IITs, IIM, NITs. Even some of the government agencies also have taken up some initiative to provide TBI to promote the growth of specific industry. Especially they are concentrated more on food processing, biotechnology, as well as agriculture. So even SIDBI, Small Industry Development Bank, in association with IIT Kanpur and BITS Ranchi, they have come up with many ways. Not only this, there are some private universities and the private educational institutes which have come up with the incubators. So with the globalization, liberalization, emergence of knowledge-driven products and services, and it's ensuring benefits to the nation and society, the incubator program is becoming very popular in India. So that's the reason most of the private players are also jumped in providing the incubation facilities. So we just see the number of incubators that is being set. We just see here there are more than not only this includes everything, the private, government, everything. All these are some of the successful incubators which are available in India. So what are the outcome of this? So with the establishment of incubators here and there in India, they were able to create more than 32,000 employments. Over 32,000 persons are being employed by the incubating and the graduate companies. So with this, they'll be able to generate certain turnover. Turnover means definitely it increases the GDP of a country. If the GDP increases, definitely the inflation goes down. If the inflation goes down, the economy of the country is more. So in Indian rupees, you can just see around 1,500 crores of turnover has happened with this kind of incubators so far. So apart from that, if you come out with an innovative idea or innovative concept or a product, definitely it is an intellectual properties being generated, it can be patented, it can be copyrighted. So no more than 450 patents and copyrights have been held by these kind of innovative ideas being developed by these kind of technology business incubators. So now tell me, let me take you through what are the objectives of TBI. As I've been telling you that it is basically development of entrepreneurship. So it's an appropriate tool for the development, for an economic development of a country. So in order to develop the economy, you need to promote technology or knowledge-based businesses, culture of technopreneurship and creation of value-added jobs. So you need to create wealth and job. That is the key thing to improve the economy of any country. You need to create job. If you create job, automatically wealth is created. How can you do it? With promoting technology and knowledge-based businesses. Technology commercialization. Through TBI, we can also provide a platform for commercialization of technologies developed in institutes. So most of the education institutes, R&D institutes, they will be able to come out with some technology which may not be available, but they don't know how to commercialize it. So these TBIs can help in commercialization of those kind of novel technology ideas what these kind of institutions come up with. This TBI, it also, as I said, it provides all the required support. How can they do it? If the interface and network between the academic and R&D institutions, financial institutions, and industries. Because till now, academic institutions, R&D institutions, industries, and financial institutions were working in idle. So by the establishment of TBI, we can bring all of them together. That is nothing but the TBI establishes a strong network among all these things, so that everyone will be working towards a common objective. And it can also provide a value addition through its services provided to its tenants, as well as to the existing technology-dominated SMEs. It also provides R&D for industry. So as I said, industry, they are ready to invest, but not on R&D. So TBI can come in there and play a role so that the required R&D activity of an industry can be taken up for upgradation. So these are the objectives of TBI. So look at this working mechanism of TBI. So TBI, as I said, it is basically a networking system or a networking setup. You need to establish a strong network among different stakeholders. So you need to have a proactive management board. You need to have a small team of core staff. You need to have an operational business. So where you need to identify a trust area. Trust area means what is the need of the hour in the present world. Like whether we need to concentrate on IT, we need to concentrate on biotechnology, we need to concentrate on advanced materials, we need to concentrate on agribusiness. At present, we have AI and ML. So identify the trust area. Trust area means what is required for the present and the future generation. So you need to concentrate more on that. You need to conduct more research on that particular thing. Then you need to network with other institutions. You need to network with R&D institution. You network with industry. You need to network with the financial institutions and other stakeholders who can support your idea. So I preferred location in R&D institutions. Normally these incubators are established in any academic institution or R&D institution, whereby they come out with a well-structured business plan. Definitely they'll be having a good government support. Okay, so to this TBI, a people or an individual approach with an idea. So wherever a TBI is having a good infrastructure and they have a well-connected network with everyone. So then a tenant is nothing but an a budding entrepreneur who want to become an entrepreneur. He goes to an incubator with an idea. So his idea is screened. I'll take you through those process next. So that idea is being converted into a commercial product and services. So he is being nurtured till he becomes self-sufficient. So that means when till the tenant can take care of his business on his own, he can be there in the incubator. Till that, all the necessary support is given. So once he can take care of his business on his own, then he can exit out of the incubator. That is what we call it as tenant graduation. So tenant selection based on the idea, then all the with the help of all the networking institution. So he'll be nurtured, he'll be able to grow, he'll be able to survive. So then he'll be able to commercialize that into a product or a service. So once he's self-sufficient, then he'll be able to graduate out of that incubator where he can run his business on his own. So as I said, the networking of TBI. So I told you the networking with other institutions. What actually that networking with other institutions? As I said, there are many things that is required for an incubator. So you need to know about the technical consultants and legal services, because whenever you are trying to come out with an idea, we need to transfer that into the technology. Transfer has to happen if you want to go with some copyright, if you need to patent it, whether this kind of technology exists in some other country or it is being in use by someone else. So to take care of all those things, we require technical consultant as well as legal services. So we need to have the network of all these kind of stakeholders. We need to have a local bodies and government agencies, because local bodies we require for certain clearances. Government agencies we require certain clearances. We need to have an association with the industry who can support us with the required equipment or any other facilities. So R&D institutions and university will be able to give us the required technical knowledge. Basically, R&D institution, we depend more on the knowledge transfer. So we need to go for technology parks also. We need to have a support or networking with the technology parks. We need to have networking with the equipment manufacturer, material suppliers. We need to have a strong network with the market and large corporations, because once we convert our idea into product, so it has to be taken care by those companies. So where we can market the product, where it can be commercialized, it can be brought into the market. Over and above all this thing, the most important thing is the financial agencies, because for the new businesses, finding the sponsors who can finance those kind of ideas is very important. So in the networking, we need to, that means a TBI need to have a network with all these kind of people. So a people or an entrepreneur who comes with an idea. So for him, whatever the service is required, we should be in a position to. So nowadays, these TBIs are being wide set up in most of the technical institutions, which is a joint venture of Post Institute and DST, the government of India. So what this is, it creates a fertile ground to promote the spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship. So nowadays, most of the engineering colleges are coming and polytechnics are coming out with the TBI. So where they network with the local industries, they create their own infrastructure, they do network with many other institutions or industries and many other stakeholders, and they try to create a virtual incubation also. So what are the facilities normally given by the TBI? I did mention with that already in the networking. We need to provide, the most important thing is mentoring, networking and mentoring. Networking, we can do it through various services. So mentoring. So what is mentoring? Mentoring is nothing but where we develop and where we support the business plan, where we support in developing the business plan, whereby we help or the incubator helps an entrepreneur to convert his idea into a business. And we also need to provide certain training required. We also need to provide certain technical or managerial assistance. We need to provide certain guidance with respect to statutory approval, whether clearance required from the government, local agencies, or the banks, whatever this approvals, statutory approval that is required, the clearances that is required for commercialization of product. So the TBA need to help them. So information dissemination of product ideas and technologies. So information development. So you need to transfer some information, you need to get some information. So the such kind of dissemination support also need to be provided by this kind of TBA. And the most important is seed capital. Seed capital is nothing but the initial investment for an incubator. Who is an incubator? An incubator is a person who comes with an idea of becoming an entrepreneur. So such people is known as incubator. Incubator is nothing but a tenant who comes to you with an idea. So capital assistance to the incubators. So other facilities we need R&D activities. We may have to do some research. We may have to test something. So we require to have a networking with R&D labs also. Guidance in obtaining finances, use of facilities at nominal charges, workspace for a limited period, common facilities like conference room, communication, computer, all the required services, office services, everything apart from the consultancy. So these are the facilities and services normally offered by most of the technology business incubators. So what is the incubation process? If a tenant, which we can call it as an incubator, if it comes, so you need to apply for an incubation. So once you apply for an incubation, you'll be screened. That is what we call as pre-application, pre-screening application review. That means to make sure that whether a particular person is serious about his idea, whether he really wants to work with that idea, whether it's how serious he is, and how you can succeed. So the pre-screening is done, then and you will be having a panel of experts. They'll be interviewing it. So once it is being passed through the panel of experts, then there will be an agreement between the incubator and the tenant. So how long you'll be there? What are the commercial aspects? If the idea is converted into commercial, what are the sharing business? Sharing means the profit sharing. So normally the profit sharing, majority of the profit goes to the tenants as well. Only a part of the profit is taken to the incubator because of developing him or from growth to the development. So then continuous support till he graduates and reallocation of business. So continuous support till he becomes self-sufficient so that he can run his business on his own. Till that he can be there in the incubator. Once he is self-sufficient, he can relocate his business off the campus. Off the campus means out of the incubator. This is the step-by-step process of an incubation. So as I said, admission process is through a pre-application questionnaire whereby they'll be studying about the detailed business plan, details about intellectual property, what kind of technology is coming out with, screening and presentation in front of experts. So decision is based on the technical aspect, the business aspect, and the financial. So basically, it is the screening is basically done to check whether an idea is technologically feasible, whether it is business viable, and whether you'll be able to get the finance for that or not. So based on only these three criteria, the ideas are shortlisted. So as I said, this is being shortlisted by a panel. The panel normally consists of all the three people: the technology angels, the technology person, the business angels, and the quality. So whatever you're commercializing, whether it's a product or service, it has to be a quality product or service. That's the reason a panel will be having a technology angels or the technology person who will take care of the technology aspect, the business angle who will be looking that into in the commercial aspect, as well as the quality angle. So they'll be screening the idea and they'll be admitting them into the incubator. So some of the training activities that can take place in an incubation is the Technopreneur Workshop, Entrepreneurship Awareness Camp, Entrepreneurship Development Program, PDPs, Personality Development Program, Innovation and Creativity Program, Virtual Incubation Program, Faculty Development Program. Some of them, they come up with an idea, but they don't know how to progress it further. So that's the reason they do provide a training activity. These incubation or the incubators provide certain workshops and training programs so that they'll be able to create more awareness so that he'll be able to convert his idea into reality. So some of the thrust areas of incubation, as I said, is ICT, information and communication technology, application of biotechnology, because most of the incubation are concentrating on the present thrust area. That is what is required in the future. What is required in the future? One, that is the information communication, the need of the hour, as well as required in the future. The biotechnology, the nanomaterials, the instrumentation and maintenance, agriculture and allied fields. Why agriculture has also come up into incubation? Because every now and then you can just, the percentage of agriculture area is diminishing because of commercialization of most of the lands. The agricultural growth is going down and down every day. So we don't need to fear if we face severe shortage of food grains. We just concentrate on the technology and all the things, neglect agriculture. Definitely a day will come where there will be a severe shortage of the food grains. That's the reason Now, even the thrust area for incubation is the agriculture and allied field, where we can grow more crops in the less area. So that is the required thrust area now. So apart from that, the fashion and the garment industry, the services, and in the present generation, we are talking more about artificial intelligence and machine learning. These are some of the thrust areas which most of the incubators are concentrating on. So on what basis do you select this thrust area? So one is depending on the expertise that is available in the incubation, the facilities that is available in the institute, the track record of the institute in the children. See, all institute cannot go through all the areas. So based on your strength and weakness, based on the facilities available, based on the expertise available in the incubator or the institute, you can select the thrust area. If you're good at ICT, select ICT. If you're good at agriculture, select agriculture. If you're good at something else, just provide those kind of support, not necessary to venture into all thrust areas. So just look out what are the strengths that an institute have with respect to expertise, with respect to facilities. And apart from that, you also need to look around the local market, local industry. What is the local industry, what they are doing it, whether they are more into ICT, whether they're more into mechanical products, looking into the local market, looking around the local industry, you can decide the thrust area. As well as you need to look into what are the demand in the market. That is also most important. Then only if there is a demand in the market, then only you'll be able to commercialize it. And apart from that, you need the TBI need to provide all the existing equipment and other infrastructural facilities of the institute that can be utilized by the incubatee or the tenant. So the most important, one more thing is nurturing you do. You make them survive, you make them grow. And the most important challenge is arranging finances. So how can we arrange finances? So funding sources for an entrepreneurship is also as important as that. If everything is there, if fund is not there, you can't go anywhere. So what are the various sources by means of which we can arrange finance for an entrepreneur? Friends and family. So if you think the business or if you think the idea is very innovative and it can be commercialized, the friends can come together and finance them. The family can support them. We have small and medium and entrepreneurs credit cards are available. Certain bank loans are available. Certain credit guarantee trust they are there which can fund. There are some angel investors who can invest on this. There are some private lending also which can take place. There are seed funding support also, and venture capitalists. So these are some of the people through which we can arrange finance. And apart from that, even the government is offering loan at a very low interest rate for entrepreneurs. So these are the various sources by means of which we can just fund the budding entrepreneurs. So let me talk through the life cycle of an incubation. We just see at the down. Most important thing is the mentoring, valuation, and the business. See, initially, mentoring is required a lot, and the risk being taken is also a lot. We just see that during initial stages from incubation, I've shown there the company life cycle from the concept to development to adultery to the maturity. So here we just call it as incubator or seed accelerator. Second stage is business accelerator. The third stage is boutique consultancy, and finally is the management consulting. You can just say you just need to concentrate on what you need to do in an incubation. Most important, apart from networking, you need to concentrate on mentoring and valuation. So initially, there's nothing to evaluate or valuation is required. Initially, what is required is taking more risk and mentoring more. As they start maturing, mentoring can be tapered. Even the risk also gets tapered automatically, and continuous evaluation is required. So valuation keeps on increases. So mentoring, valuation, and the business risk is the most important life cycle of an incubation. That is how it goes through. So what are the benefits of TBI? So most important benefit is the economic benefits as well as socio-economic benefits. So what is economic benefit? Economic benefits is nothing but what creating jobs and creating wealth. What is socio-economic benefit? Fostering a community's entrepreneur. That means you are helping the local society or the local people to grow. You are fostering a community to move towards creating job rather than depending on the job. What is socio-economic benefit? One more is technology commercialization. You are trying to commercialize some new technology. You are providing diversifying local economics. You are building accelerating growth of learning, because since you are incubating, your trust areas are connected to the local industry around. You are trying to address the local issues. So therefore, the local industry grows, the local industry grows, the local employment will increase. So in total, the local or the region develops in such a way, all the regions, they concentrate like this, the entire state and the entire country grows. So apart from that, one more benefit is creation of business and retention of those kind of business. And nowadays, you can just see we need to encourage more women in the minority entrepreneurship, and government to come up with many schemes for women entrepreneurs as well as minority entrepreneurs. And one more benefit is identifying the potential business opportunities. So these are the benefits what we can get from the technology business incubators. This is how a typical technology business incubator, how it looks. It is nothing but where you just provide the support, provide all the required office support, the infrastructure support, you network with our institutions, so get all the paperwork done, you get the finances, you nurture them, you take them till maturity. Once they are mature enough, then you'll be able to place them outside the campus so that they can grow on their own. They have created the job for the society, they have created the wealth for the society, and in turn, the country has grown. So that is all about how you can develop entrepreneurship through the use of technology business incubation. Thank you. Thanks a lot.